Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to make this barbell style bracelet. This one's made with just wire, but if you wanted to, you could easily add beads, crystals, or anything you like. This would also look really nice in a necklace design. The barbells use a fair bit of wire to make, so you might want to keep that in mind when you're making your design. So let's get started. I'm working with a 20 gauge wire. You could use a heavier wire if you want a more bulky bracelet. Just keep in mind that it will probably be harder to bend. To make a 1-inch barbell, you start with 15 inches of wire and you're going to bend it right in half. Then you're going to use your chain nose pliers to squeeze the wire together, so you want it to be side by side. Then you're going to measure about 3/4 of an inch down from the top of your wire where you just bent. Now you can actually mark it with a Sharpie so that you know exactly where you want to bend, or you can just do as I did and just grab it with your pliers. And then you're just going to do another bend and squeeze it tight like you did in the other side. You can measure and mark the wire, or you can just use your pliers and do another bend and then squeeze the wire together just like you did before. What's most important is that the length of all the wire bends all line up. Now using the wire with the longer tail, you're going to do another bend right at the tip of the other bends and squeeze the wire together just like you did with the others. Now you're going to bend one wire down and then one wire up, so the wires are pointing in opposite directions. Now you're going to get 2 sets of pliers and you're going to grab hold of both ends and then you're going to start to twist. And the more barbells you make, the better your twists will get. So just keep twisting in opposite directions with your pliers, but always remember not to twist too much, because if you wire harden the wire too much, it can actually snap. The most important part of the barbell is to twist the center, because the tips will be covered with some wraps, so you don't have to worry so much if they're not as pretty as the center, but if the center's good, it will look good. Then you're going to make a loop on the top of one side, it doesn't matter which. So start with a 90-degree angle and then just wrap the wire around your pliers and make a loop. And then you're just going to do like a regular closed loop, and you're going to wrap around those wires in the center. And you can do about 3 or 4 wraps, or as many as you like, just as long as both sides have the same amount. When you've wrapped as much as you like, you can trim it back and then just tuck in that wire to make sure there's no sharp parts. Then you're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Just do another closed loop and then your barbell will be finished. When you're making your loop, you just want to make sure that it's facing the same direction as the other loops so that the loops line up. Then just trim it back and tuck any sharp bits. To attach the links together, you're just going to do the exact same thing, but before you close the second loop, you're going to slide it onto the loop of the barbell you just made. And then you're just going to close the loop just like you did before. And continue to do that until you have the length you want. But always remember when you're doing your bracelet or necklace or whatever you're doing that you need to count the clasp in as well as all the barbells so you can get the perfect length you want. If you don't want to learn how to make the clasp, you can skip ahead to the end to learn how to put it together. Otherwise, let's make the clasp now. I'm working with 3 inches of 18 gauge wire and I'm just going to wrap it around my round nose pliers right at the center. My circle is 10 millimeters wide, but if you want to make a smaller or bigger circle, you can do that as well. Then you're going to take your pliers and make a 45-degree angle right at the tip of the circle. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want the wires to be side by side. Once you've done that, you're going to use your pliers just to try and push those 2 wires together because you want them to be in a straight line. You don't have to, but I always like to hammer the circle because it gives it more texture and it also wire hardens it. Now you're going to go in the center of those 2 wires and you just want to make sure that they're as close together as possible. And then you're going to just bend it in half. And then you're going to just make little tiny curls at the ends of the wires just to make sure there's no sharp parts that can scratch you. I'm working with 18 gauge wire again, and I'm just going to make a loop right on the round nose pliers. It can be the same size as the loop you've already made, or it could be bigger or smaller. It's really your choice. So once you've made a loop, just leave enough of a tail so you can wrap down it about 2 or 3 times. Once that's done, you're just going to do a smaller loop on the bottom and just cut the wire right where the wire meets the circle. And that would be your completed clasp. Now that I have the length I want, including my clasp, I'm going to put it together. Now I've already made my barbell and I'm just going to do an open loop and then I'm going to attach it to the loop of the hook in the clasp. And then I'm just going to close the loop and trim it back and tuck in any edges. To attach the other side, you're just going to open the small loop and then hook it on to the end of the other side of your bracelet. And that would be your completed bracelet. This concludes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.